Great. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up where I began earlier. I've just realized I haven't been mindful of any of the videos I've been doing as far as mindfulness, period. I haven't done any Zen videos. I've really just been focusing on myself, getting myself together. There's a time in my life where, hey, sometimes I got to take a break and get me together instead of me extending my cape to help everybody else. With that being said, I had worked on a project for about 60-something days, 63, somewhere in there, a little bit over 60 days, about how people are treated when they're in the community living on the land, meaning homeless. Now, I do have a place to live, but I thought it would be smart enough to stay in the homeless shelter because the homeless people in my community are protesting about sleeping in the parks. I will update video later. You have people who are complacent. They are not displaced. They just don't want to be responsible. They don't want to pay any bills. They don't want to pay rent. They want to keep the government check they're getting for free to themselves. Meaning whatever it is that they want within themselves, they're going to get it. Now, I can honestly say I might be a little selfish. I've never been that way. I really haven't had an ego to even be that type of person. But I, have taken into consideration, mark on my face that I nothing need more foundation. Anywho, it's not the fact that they're like displaced, like I said before. It's the simple fact that community will look down on somebody and shun them by their appearance, by their conduct, by their conversation. It doesn't matter. I mean, a lot of those people are uneducated and they got by in life just for just telling the coolest little joke or something. You never know. But for the community who receives most of their funding from the government, or if they're a nonprofit organization and they receive funding, regardless if you're nonprofit or not, funding from another entity or another company, another business, another donor, another sponsor, they pocket the funds. You have places where people will not be able to have anywhere to live. And sometimes they care, sometimes they don't. Well, they have a spot here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, where they're sleeping in Bronson Park. They're also sleeping across the street from the Ministry with Community. Now, it's not that these people are displaced and don't have anywhere to go. Some people choose to be in this position. I'm going to be honest. They chose with a USC, chose with a USC. They chose. And so people need to take that in consideration too. Yeah, they're people and they need help, but it was a choice that they made, their decision. So they're a product of their decision and not their circumstance. I'm going to repeat that. A lot of the homeless people are a product of their own decision, not their circumstance. I was in a situation because I put myself in a situation to see if I can get out. I did, because I am very resourceful and I know how to find things that I need. Places that I worked with, they give you showers for free, you eat food for free, you wash your laundry for free. In these places, they could be used in a positive entity instead of a negative. They say, well, they're not for the community, for the homeless. But a lot of people in the community struggle with doing laundry because that's something that they don't have in their budget. Or they struggle to keep food in their house because it's something that's hard to keep in their budget, regardless if they're paying all their bills and keeping afloat. I've seen and read plenty of articles and seen plenty of movies and seen plenty and met plenty of people who live at $100,000 income level and they're living at poverty. The end. So it doesn't matter how much money you have and what level you're living on. It's a choice. Either you're going to choose to smarten up, take care of yourself, or you're going to continue to have that, oh, woe is me syndrome, pity me. I'm going to take on my relatives or my person's burdens so that I can be looked upon and receive glory off of what someone else is going through. I'm not going to live like that. You can't take credit for someone else's pain and carry it as your own. That makes no sense. But as I stated before, you have to be mindful of the people around you. There are some people who are a product of their decision. Some people, their decisions are not of their own. So they are in the situation and they're judged and looked upon as a drug addict or a prostitute or unfit mother or just anything in general that fits the stereotype and category so that they can so that they can have or rise above or be higher or greater than the next person around them. Now, I'm not per se saying that's a good idea. I'm just saying that, wow, it happened. And people are actually serious about it, and they do mean it. Some of these people, they want to see if they can beat the system. They don't realize the system changed on them about 15 years ago. They can't see the change that has been manifested, so they stay comfortable and festering in their filth. Because now they're doing that, they expect people like yourself and myself to bail them out of their misery that they put themselves in. I'm not being abrasive when I say this, but I've been down here dealing with these people. A lot of these people could be in assisted living. Honestly, they could. Daycare for their old asses or their homeless selves. Because a lot of these people don't want any help. They just want the perks of the idea of getting help. Let me say that again. A lot of people don't want help. They just want the perks from the idea of getting help. And I'm serious. You will not, if I could put it in a report to show you what these people do and how they try to milk the system for every dollar so they can keep their high going or their hustle going or whatever they're doing going. It's amazing how they do it. But when you cut it all off and they have to be resilient and actually think on their brain and think on their feet, you feel like, oh, we're leaving them behind. Some people should have been left behind back in '88. Nobody listened. Anyway, I'm not going to ramble on about mindfulness and how homeless people are treated. I'm just going to be straight up. If you're in a situation that you find yourself in, not due to your circumstance, but due to your decision, reevaluate the decision you made. Check to see if you can go back and correct any mistakes that you made, and then grow from there. GROW from there, not go, grow. And you'll be a much better person. Some people will evaluate their mistake and see where they went wrong and won't grow up. They'll still stay the same. Some people will be mindful of another person's actions and another person's circumstance and take it as their own just because it's a perk for them. You don't know the state of people's mental condition when you bump into them, so you cannot judge homeless people. You cannot judge people who could have been a judge yesterday on the bench and he's in homeless shelter tomorrow. You are not able to do that. A lot of people's mental capabilities and capacities cannot comprehend New Age world, cannot comprehend new life world, cannot comprehend new technology, new digital world. They don't comprehend it because it's unmovable in their mind. They didn't get the blip, so to speak. Like I said, they're disconnected. So if you see people that are homeless in your community, be mindful of their mental state, capacity. Some people you can speak to, some people you don't say anything to, you just keep going. But with that being said, just be mindful of those that are around you, because they're not a product of their circumstance, they're a product of their own decision. Sundara spoken.